Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is DB333, and welcome back to Hearts Fire for the Order Last Days of Europe as Zhdanov's Komi. Now, in the last video, we started working towards some peaceful options to go up against our enemies over here in reunifying Russia. Now, I guess these guys aren't quite enemies. That's not fair to say. Especially with Vologda, because we're working on peacefully integrating them. So we're keeping an eye really right now on the front and seeing what they're doing. Kosygin is still in the country, interestingly enough. Subject whereabouts are unknown since the expulsion of the old government from Syktyvkar, at which point Kosygin is believed to have been left southwest by truck before disappearing to parts unknown. Sighting of questionable veracity have been placed him at numerous locations inside as well as outside of Komi proper, raising speculation on maybe undertaking trips of some kind to other states. Analysis concludes it's highly unlikely that Kosygin is involved in frontline resistance works against the government, and speculate that Kosygin may instead be attempting to liaise. Fuck. I don't think I'm saying that right. I know what that means. I'm not saying it right. Well, for rival governments in an effort to procure outside financial and material support for liberal resistance groups. His liquidation has potential to cut off insurgent supply lines and significantly decrease such groups' efficacy. Well, let's go ahead. Let's change our security procedures. Let's exile Kosygin. The party is stable. Sulfide influence is very strong, but not as strong as the Zhdanovite influence. That's what I'm really worried about. Magadan is doing relatively well. Human. We'll see what happens there. Lozano elected Presidente de Mexico. A peaceful option. Now I want to see. They are going after the priestly state. We'll go ahead, welcome our comrades, just annex them. And then, yeah. If they get gainy, they get gainy. So be it. Let's welcome our comrades. Seems that our negotiations have succeeded, and Vologda has agreed to join us. We shall begin the process of integrating the Vologdan army into our own, and the leaders of the government shall have begun the process of ensuring that integration into the Komi Soviet Republic goes smoothly. The peaceful integration is truly a great boon to us, as we have access to the full wealth of these lands without needing to rebuild them, leaving us much better off for our future wars. There we go. He'd cut communications with everyone he knew for a while now. The past day Kosygin was alone, his mind aching at the thought of what was going on back home, yet he couldn't dare turn back. He knew what had happened, how Komi fell into chaos. Every hour, every minute, he cursed himself for not taking enough action. He knew the eventual fate of Komi, yet he kept himself silent. Now he had paid the ultimate price, and the only thing that came his way was downfall. He hadn't even learned about the fate of Svetlana Stalina, a fact that haunted him every step of the way. There were the fates of many to worry about, but he shared with their Grimm's opinion of Komi's democracy that, unfortunately, turned out to be true. Now guided by the strobes of moonlight and his escape from the compromised nation, it came into fruition. The thick forest, there were no guards, no chachankas, nothing that could stop him. Only the wind blowing in at the idle sounds of forest life. Even then his nerves were on guard, and Kosygin felt that this trip through the forest would be the makings of a new source of paranoia. But he had to brave the sheer emptiness of it all, the lack of human life, and pray that he would not suddenly receive a bullet to the back. At the crack of next dawn, Kosygin found himself at the other side. He wasn't sure what sort of freedom he would find, and he didn't know if it would truly be a better fate than death in the hands of radicals. But he had made his choice long ago, and he would reap the rewards and suffer the consequences for it. But Zelensky's ideal was dead, and Kosygin wanted nothing further to do with it. Not anymore. So we can go ahead and halt security procedures. Search for key targets who pose a threat to stability of our government has finally come to an end. Security forces are standing down, focusing their efforts on other pressing matters. Let's hope that their mission was not in vain and the stability of our young administration has been ensured. We've done enough. And there we go. We'll go ahead and nom on Vologda. And I guess we'll see. Here goes Heydrich. So what, Borman? I'm gonna assume Borman. Okay, the AB versus Vyatka. Welcome our comrades. Privyet! There we go. Get a front line there. Are they going after the neutral? Oh, good luck with that. It's not really gonna do much there. Do we want to try to go after the monks? I'm thinking not. Because I'm thinking we do try to get the monks. Because if we can get it so Vyatka declares war on us, well, we don't have to do anything other than let the front nom them. And we get the land. So let's try to go after the monks in our sights. One of the first targets identified by generals was the Order of St. George. These fanatical monks rule a fairly small amount of land and aren't backed by any other warlord militarily. As this will be a forward offensive, we must ensure that the army is ready for such a task. Troops shall be moved into position. More importantly, we must educate the soldiers on the monks' fanaticism. We must make sure that they understand the flaws of the monks' beliefs and just how far they could go in order to make sure that we lose. Our briefings will allow the pockets to be able to quickly snuff out any pockets of resistance that may exist, as they will understand the madness of the monks. Oops, meant to start that. So let's go ahead, cancel that front line, get this front line going. Do a little an offensive into Gainey. And then get going on... Oh, uh-oh. We might as well finish it to get all of this stuff bypassed. Okay, they're taking Perm. Taking old Chai, or Chali. Oh, that's a little ugly, but just a quick encirclement they deal with. Where do we go from here? Better inventory, weapons, some production equipment. I think we ease off on anti-tank for now and get working on support equipment. Yeah, we'll at the very least get some war support. And, I'm curious, we might as well give it a shot. Time has come to attack the Order of St. George and secure our right flank. Our generals expect this campaign to be short and not too difficult, as the Order is a fairly small warlord, and our army is grossly superior to theirs. In any case, let us push onwards for a reunited Russia. God, just imagine the fucking front collapses to the Order. Can get some loot going. I think we have everything going on up except industrial based. So let's do something to improve industrial base, industrial experience. So we'll train new workers. And we actually might be able to snipe it from them real quick, which would be very fun. Oh god, Vyatka actually isn't doing too hot. They're not encircled, but, they gave up the capital. There we go. A tank rush to Gainey. Go, 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 fucking go, fucking go. Oh, we got him! Get fucked! Get fucked. Let's seize the wealth. So we expected the Gainey monks have managed to acquire quite a lot of religious paraphernalia. However, we did not expect that the value of said paraphernalia to be this high. There's a huge amount of rare and valuable resources, such as gold, stashed away in places where the monks hoped we'd never look. Sadly for them, however, some of the people we've captured were all too willing to show us where these valuable items were. This wealth will be very useful in funding our efforts to reclaim Russia. We can even use some of this wealth to help fill the treasury. While there might be some more religious people mad about us selling off church property, the fact of the matter is that this money goes to just cause, the reunification of Russia. There we go. Pog. Oh, that must feel fucking bad for him. So we see what happens here, I guess. Okay, there we go. Easy answer there. So after that, they have the option of the AB, which they can't do. So they'd go after Tatarstan, I think eventually, right? So they go after either front, Vologda, Samar, Gorky. So it's Operation Patchwork is all the way down there. So I'm thinking we might just want to try and eat them up now. Probably. We don't get cores on Vologda, which is kind of annoying. Not really a fan of that. Guess we'll go ahead and go up against Bazaris for now. The collapse of the front brought many different warlords to power, many claiming to be the true Russia. One of the most egregious warlords of them all is Vyatka. These czars seek nothing but the re-implementation of monarchism, the system that crumbled under its own weight back in 1917. The Vyatkins are directly to our south, which means that they are undoubtedly the biggest threat as of now to Komi. We cannot afford to let this menace fester on our border, or else we must risk our destruction by these reactionaries. We must seek to exorcise these czars from Russia once and for all, so that we can finally be free from the specter of monarchism. Do an offensive line right through here. We gotta... Against Wazarists. Let's go ahead, ready the south. Actually, let's build the line first. A war with Vyatka will be anything but easy. It's likely that it will take time for us to fully breach their lines, and therefore we must construct defenses of our own. We must begin to construct fortifications along the bank of the Vyatka River. So even if we're not able to immediately storm the Tsarist line, we have a backup plan that will allow us to hold their armies. The defensive line shall include trenches, bunkers, and observation outposts, everything we need to defend against Vyatka, if need be. However, this line of defenses, while comprehensive, will not be maximized to its full potential, as we need the resources to contribute to the war itself, not just defensive structures. Berezhniki has been eaten. They're getting rid of the Aryans. Pretty based. Okay. I'm curious who's gonna win this. Already doesn't look good for Tumen. We can do a 2nd October right now, if we wanted to. Honestly, I don't mind. Let's do a 2nd October. All of our time in actually, this would be nice, I think. Let's get that first. In order to launch a successful campaign against Vyatka, we need to ensure that we are ready for the war. To this end, we must begin a mobilization effort focused on the south of Komi, so that we will have enough troops to actually fight the Tsarist. We will ensure that our troops are able to get into a position for this war. Furthermore, we will send our army engineers to the Vyatka River in order to find the best location to cross it. Our generals have determined that crossing and securing the Vyatka River will be the most critical priority early in the war, so if we improvise a river crossing, to improvise a river crossing would be deadly to our war effort. We must be ready to strike down the Tsarists. There we go. Harold Wilson. That actually works pretty well for the socialist game I think we're doing. Didn't even think of that, but there we go. And fuck it, 2nd October. All our efforts in preparing have succeeded. The time to begin the war against the Tsars has arrived. We must not allow monarchism to once again take root in Russia. Our troops will cross the Vyatka River and begin the war against Vyatka. Just as our comrades in 1917, we will strike down the Tsar from his throne. There we go. We're getting a little bit of political power today, which is very nice. I'm thinking we want to be working on doctrine, so combined operations. They're putting their eyes towards Tatarstan. And so we can consolidate our territory. We might as well get working on that right now. So our rapid gains of new lands, whether through peace or war, have left the administration overextended. While you have theoretical control over a fairly large chunk of Western Russia, the fact is there are still many pockets within our territory that operate freely, possibly even against Komi. We must rectify the situation now before we march against the rest of the warlords. More funding and manpower will be devoted not only to keeping the peace everywhere in our lands, but also to our new regional administrators. With the increase of workers and money, the new administration should be able to begin the process of truly consolidating the new lands, bringing them thoroughly under our control. There we go. The front also is up against Vyatka. I was kind of debating. Okay, you stop that. You don't do that. Levant's been partitioned. Let's see if they want to attack into us first. And if not, that we'll let them go into Tatarstan. Oh wait, they can't because they're not at peace. Okay. And that complicates things. Also, the Samara machine is broken. You spread out a little bit. Secure Bear sneaky. They cored the stuff yet they have, so they're gonna get a fair bit of manpower coming up soon. I'm satisfied with the peasantry. The majority of the people in Russia are peasants. While there are many who still support us, there are also many who have been corrupted by reactionary propaganda. We must show the peasants that we are a benevolent force, and not a spectre that seeks to ruin their lives. We shall accomplish this task by providing the peasants with the modern equipment that we can, so that their lives become easier. Furthermore, we'll ensure that the peasants have access to modern amenities and methods of communication, improving their standards of living. Hopefully these efforts will show the people of Russia that we only seek to better their lives, not cast them into hell. You can hope it works. Black market arms increase. Try to move into there, get encirclement. Actually, that doesn't even hurt necessarily. Let's just get something kind of funky going here. Yeah. Just kind of move back, take Berezhniki. Just gonna start taking some stuff. Some sabotage buildings coming up. You do that, that. Did we lose a guy? I've already lost a guy, shit. Let me see, manpower, 7K, yeah, we would have lost a guy. A little annoying, but we'll build a statue of that division, whoever they were. Do a bit of VP rushing. Oh, he fucking died too, Jesus. Oh, that's not good. Okay, we'll kill a guy there. Granted, they're not the best troops anyway, so I'm not overly worried about them dying. It's just... Oop. Let's ensure our industrial effectiveness. In our conquest, we managed to seize control of a large amount of factories, all in varying states of readiness. While we've been able to get some of them up and running again, there are still many that need to be properly restored and restarted. We must focus our efforts on ensuring that these factories can not only function, but function productively. We'll also ensure that these new factories have workers who understand the power of communism as to prevent any saboteurs wreaking havoc. Fuck, I need some political power. At the very least, to start coring this. Goring. Uh-oh. Oh, that's kind of not good. Yeah, that's really not good. And I watched someone else do a, campaign as the Ultra Visionaries. I forget his name off the top of my head, the guy who did it. But Goring won, and Goring eventually did a good enough job that he did Fall Rot and went after Russia. So that was interesting. And I'm curious as to whether or not we'll have that happen. Move there, get some try to cut him off there. There we go. Let's replenish the armory. Our recent wars have left our weapons supply dangerously low, and it's clear that we need to restock or risk supply shortages. We must audit all the captured equipment, see what can be of use to us. Furthermore, we need to start up new weapons factories to restart the old ones, so that we do not run out of ammunition and rifles at a critical juncture. Well, this does require us to move our military defensive posture for now. It's necessary so that we can succeed in conquering the warlords. Okay, fuck, I need more political power. Come on. One more tick. One more tick of pee-pee. One more drop of pee-pee. Come on. God, I'm so mature. German intervention in Africa? Come on. Okay, integrate Vologda, go. Los! This is a little messy, not gonna lie. Does the front not have military access with us? They do. They also have, free military factories. Excellent. Let's get that going. And probably anti-tank. Because that's also what our divisions need. Move into Glazov. Quickly. Quickly. Fuck. No, 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 no. Okay, I'll reload the month tick. Reload the month tick, go from there. Beautiful quote right there. Very, very interesting you say that, Nixon. Okay, move into there. Yeah, there you go. You guys get what I'm picking up. No, don't. Okay, and then fuck. Let's go working on some Zhdanov stuff. As part of the party's ideological re-education program, several treaties and works of communist literature have been added to the official required reading list of a state, now including several Zhdanov's own works. His works and manifestos are to be heavily featured in the modern political works section and describe his vision of communism bringing the Soviet Union into the future technologically and culturally. These works will serve not only to expand our catalog of reading material, but also to increase Zhdanov's public exposure and popularity base. I like it. We're going to do what we call a pro-gamer move here. Or we're going to attempt it. And get relief for this guy. There we go. Zhdanov has taken special interest in the writing of books about socialism lately. It's gone so far as to oversee the industry of it itself. In Komi, now, there are being books written and printed about the very foundation of proletariat society, about the organization of labor, about the evils of capitalism, about the history of socialism himself. Zhdanov is known to be the foremost communist in the nation, a man who can truly be said to know socialism like the back of his hand. He says a great deal about the quality of the works being produced, but Zhdanov is greatly pleased with them. Distribution has already begun, first to the schools and libraries, then to the labor unions after, and finally to the general public in turn. Take a look, it's in a book. A manifesto. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Next, we'll go ahead and get the voices of the people, just because I don't want to really look at the capital right now. Zhdanov is a true liberal among us. In recent weeks, he has been ramping up his calls for openness and transparency in government, calling the current system not only opaque, but corrupting in nature. Additionally, he's called for further liberalization of speech, arguing heavily in favor of new legislations protecting free speech, and even made some radical calls for involving the people more heavily in government. These calls for citizen participation and transparency in government have done much to increase Zhdanov's influence and popularity. There we go. Integrate. Gainy? Go after Bumstroy and then try to take Perm. It's a little messy at first, I fully admit that, but it's coming along now. The mechanical plant captured. Next we'll take over this. Okay, you guys hold off on that. See, they're moving away like a fucking idiot. They don't realize that's a big VP, and that's probably going to cost them their lives. Ooh, resistance to occupation. Oh no, anyway. Again, same idea. Fucking let them... Give it a second, and then try to move back in. Fucking idiots. They left their fucking capital open, and they thought they'd be fine. Get out of here. Alright, we'll need some anti-tank. Probably some more rifles from there. Got some water vapor going. Voices of the people being broadcast. And next, we'll go ahead. Oh, email. I'll check that out if this video's over. Let's relocate the party. For recent conquest, multiple people in the party have advocated for relocation of the capital from Syktyvkar to Rykov. While Rykov is a more centralized location, which will allow us to govern easier, the fact of the matter remains that the relocation of the party is a costly endeavor. We'd have to stage such a relocation so our government couldn't be wiped out in a single blow, and the capital would be closer to our enemies. However, there are many who argue that despite the cost, the benefits of moving to Rykov would be immense in the long term. We must resolve this debate now before we must direct resources into more wars against the warlords. It's an interesting question for sure. For certain. Got a new unit of infantry, which is very nice. We got kind of use more manpower. How is Vakorin coming along here? It's getting. The Battle of Barcelona. There goes Divine Mandate. Who's winning? The recent victories allowed us to strengthen our presence in West Russia and bring order to distant territories that were caught by anarchy and tyranny right after the departure of the Red Army. As more and more hostile territories were pacified and transferred under the protection of the Soviet power, we are now able to reconsider our position in the region. Proposals are coming from various officials to relocate our residents to Rykov, or as it was known under the counter-revolutionary leadership, Vyatka. The provisional capital of Syktyvkar, now purged out of bourgeois and fascist elements that overwhelmed the city in later years, has served the Soviet government well in its capacities, came at great aid to our more desperate times, but as the outside situation plays more in our favor, we have an opportunity to move our capital of the central region, West Russia, thus allowing us to entrench ourselves in a more comfortable position. God, they really didn't proofread this a little bit, did they? Let's move to Rykov. I'm sure it's worth the efforts. We'll wait until we consolidate our power a bit more. So let's get down to the evaluation of party policy. A key moment has arrived in the party's history. The party's yearly evaluation has arrived. Historically, the party's evaluation has been either a bellwether of change or an early sign of the continuing reign of orthodoxy. With Bucharina on the rise and reformers ascending to the party's hierarchy, it may seem to be a certain victory for reformers, but the orthodox values still dominate much of the party's organs. Certainly many Bucharina's methods have proven effective, but the old guard watches carefully for signs of instability or progress gone too far. The question remains, shall orthodoxy take hold once again, or will the reformists take ascendancy? Let us see, we're now losing political power. God fucking damn it. Okay, Irkutsk has taken out Mikhail. Now let's see what they do in Magadan. Missing equipment production, infantry fighting vehicles. Still working on a few of those, I guess. Let's see, what do we got here? The Assembly of the Communist Party of Komi Republic is now in session. May the delegates who wish to set the agenda of today's Congress please rise. And like clockwork, the big three are rising. Our reader speaker can tell what topic will be, for the Komi Republic's leftists have only really discussed one topic and 100 variations since the split of a union. Who will take the reins of power now the leftists are in control? What can the Komi Republic do, surrounded as it is by fragments of a socialist dream and the tyranny of generals who beat the people with its shards? Is there really any purpose to fighting for the revolution in a place that seems to have already become numb to it? It is only really one question, the question of who have their lives' work torn from under them. Who next, and what then? What is, in other words, to be done? The inaugural opening speech is as good as a it's a platform to advance our agenda as any. Even a speaker has no real hope that this shouting match will turn out differently from the others. Even so, it is her formal duty to ensure that the decorum is at least attempted, and now she must make a choice. She calls on the speakers to state their points. Zhdanov, patient as ever, raises the topic of developing ideological consciousness. Lukewarm, boring, but a solid opener of the day's events, Bucharina points out that ideological consciousness will not be relevant for very long unless workers experience said ideology's benefits. Proposes instead a direction of workplace democracy in the Republic. General Secretary Suslov, in his usual dry manner, proposes a merger of two topics, the centralization of workplace unions to the party mandate. Subtle, controlling, and depressively relevant. Zhdanov has the floor. And with that, they're passing the bar. In the early days of Communist Party, reformers were sidelined at every opportunity. Anyone seeking real change within the party and the larger community were not welcome to speak their thoughts. Fortunately, the party has changed. Reformers, after years of campaigning, protesting, and maneuvering, have passed the bar. The party as a whole now approves of the actions, even though our ideology is not yet the official ideology of the party, or even the one backed with the most popular support. The orthodox factions are now the ones being sidelined for the first time in years. This development is a monumental point for the development of socialism in Komi. The road is long, but the path is clear. Now the reformers must march on. That's not to say that there will be no opposition to the remnants of the orthodox faction, or the orthodox faction, I should say. Excuse me. Still remain a potent threat to changes in the system, as we are enraged that once their dominant ideology is no longer ascendant, but it is opposition that we are sure that we can defeat. So it's like Sverdlovska's won. Democracy returns to Italia. There we go, we're getting a little bit of political power. And we're getting manpower back, which is very nice. We got Rykov Cord. Or we got Kostroma Cord, excuse me. Rykov, we still need more political power for. Let's get the way of the people going. Andrei Zhdanov, once a firm second-in-command of the Communist Party structure, has risen to prominence as reformists have taken the reins of the party. His personal ideology, rooted in libertarian interpretation of communism, has got fire among local Soviets across Komi. In nearly every town, men marching through town, yelling Zhdanov's name and touting his loyalty to the tenets of socialism. Zhdanov and his thoughts will lead us into the future. His popularity is unmatched, his populist rhetoric easy to grasp and egalitarian. This is a man who cares for the liberty of the worker and for the basic liberty of any man or woman. This is the man who will lead the Republic into the future as a popular candidate of the Communist Party. Well, it's a very ambitious future, and it'll be a very interesting future, but it's a future we're going to have to put off for now, because I got to here, folks. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, leave a like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you want to see more of this content, feature hit the sub button from up every weekday, as well as every Saturday. If you have any comments, feedback, concern, anything of the sort, leave in the comment section below. I read all the comments again. Appreciate any feedback you might have for me. If you want to chat, play games, anything of the sort, check out my Discord down link below. If you want to chat or play games, or if you want to see me do this sorts of live, I have a Twitch. If you want to send a few bucks my way every month, I have a Patreon. All of those are down in the description box below. That's really it for now, ladies and gentlemen. My name has been DB333, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.